we are very happy to have each one of you, and we look forward to that. So please, you can use the chat box to share about yourself, what you do. But otherwise, we're glad to have you, and we look forward to a fruitful discussion. And we know that we'll be able to, learn from each other. So in the chat box, you could tell us about your name, where you're joining in from. You can also share in case you have an expectation, especially for the session, such that we're able to pick up your expectation. Yeah, and be able to take note of it even as the presentation goes on. All right. Okay, I'm trying to. All right, all right, all right. Just allow me to share something here. You're most welcome. Thanks to those that have just joined in. Thank you so much for joining through. I want to share the profile of our speaker. All right, so our speaker today, allow me to just run through. So our speaker today is Winnie Kamuya. Winnie Kamuya is a leadership coach, as many of you might have seen.
Recording in progress.
So Winnie Kamuya is the CEO and founder of the International Renaissance Center, Kenya, where she empowers mid-level managers who feel overlooked and undervalued, to raise with confidence, gain visibility, and lead with impact. As a leadership coach, a two-time bestseller and a renowned speaker, Winnie's work is grounded in the real-world experience and a personal journey of reinvention. In 2001, she hosted the virtual series Lessons on Leadership, a groundbreaking initiative that was delivered well ahead of the global shift towards online learning. She's also the visionary behind the Africa Women in Leadership Whale Conference and the personal assistant of their Award Africa initiatives that have refined career growth and professional experience across the continent. So her flagship program, which is the Promotion Roads program, has helped mid-level managers break through career plateaus, develop executive presence, and step into leadership roles with clarity and purpose, as we see some of the testimonials. So Winnie is passionate about creating lasting impact through her seminars, conferences, and newsletters, including imprint newsletters, Women in Leadership newsletters, and the Game Change Assistant newsletter. Her philosophy is simple, yet profound. I'm unique. The power to be who I want to be is in my hands. So welcome, Winnie. Winnie, we are glad to have you. And on behalf of the Transformation Professionals Club, we are glad to host you. The Transformation Professionals Club is a global community. We have members from various parts of the world, but most of our community has quite a number of Ugandans because we are based in Uganda, but we do welcome people from other various parts of the world, and that is why we are here today. So we're glad to have our speaker, and thanks so much everyone that is joining the call. If this is your first time, we want to say welcome, Kalibu. This is the Transformation Professionals Club, and feel at home and feel at growth. As the Transformation Professionals Club, our key goal is to help you learn, is to help you grow, is to help you earn. And above everything, we also want you to connect. And that's why we are seeing quite a number of introductions as well coming through in the chat box. So thank you so much, Abubeka, for the introduction. We're glad to have you on the call. Thank you so much, Stephen, as well, for joining in. Neville, who is also joining in from West Nile, Alua, and she's eager to learn. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, we always glad to have people come through for these conversations. Career growth is one of those aspects that is very critical. As many of you might be following some of my conversations, especially online, I write around career growth. And why I'm so much interested about this topic is, you know, we spend quite a lot of our time in career. Averagely, if somebody has been within their careers, this can even spur to over 40 years. So 40 years, somebody is either working, starting as an assistant and going through the ranks to the various levels. But one of the things that is even is somehow tough is not everyone is able to grow to the ranks as they should have grown to. Sometimes, of course, we look at it from the perspective of luck, that some people are lucky and some people are not lucky. But over time, if you've been in the workplace, you realize that there are certain principles that help you to actually go to the top. And those are some of the things that we want to share this evening. So I look forward to the conversation, and we're glad that we have somebody who has walked this journey and somebody who is also knowledgeable. She has written books. She has also gone ahead to hold various conferences on the topic, and she'll be sharing with us passionately. I've watched some of her YouTube videos, and I know that she's the right person to share with us what we have today. So I welcome Winnie. Thank you so much for joining through, and we're glad to have you as the Transformation Professionals Club. Over to you. You could share with us about you, that it may not be within the introduction I've made, and also just give us a break into our today's topic, what message you have prepared for us today. Yes, Winnie.
Good evening, Coach Samuel. My apologies for my internet. So if I go off, just keep waiting for me. I'll come back. Normally with Zoom, sometimes it gives me issues. So
No, it's okay.
I'm
It's well.
grateful for the opportunity. And I hope that I'll use this opportunity to learn as well. We always say that learning is
That's true. Yeah, we are all learning at as we proceed through. And we know that even the people that have joined through the call, yeah, there's one or two things that you've been able to see and learn, even as our speaker, Winnie, shares. Yes, Winnie. Okay, good to have you, Cobell. Thank you so much for joining through. Like Winnie indicated, she'll be talking to us and sharing as we also share. So this is going to be an interactive session. Let's make sure that we are sharing as much as we can. Thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, David. Thank you, Cobell. Let the introductions continue coming through. Winnie, are you able to hear us? Okay, as Winnie tries to connect. So one of the things that I was trying to share, that we spent quite a number of years within our careers. And this time ought to be managed rightly. And as Aria shared, that although for some people, they grow through the ranks, there's some people who are not able to grow through the ranks. And this is not just about luck, that some people are lucky or some people are not lucky. There are also principles around. I think one of the things that I've come to appreciate in life is that everything has principles to it. And when you go through the right principles, just like the way we went through school, there are those that, yes, were genius, but then there were also principles around how to be a good student. So the same principles also work when it comes to the workplace. There are certain aspects that help you to be a good employee and to be one that will go through the whole processes. So one of the things that usually people say is, in most cases, people think working hard is enough in itself. And there's this common saying where people say your work will speak for yourself. But over time, that notion has been challenged not to work. And I want to agree in the same. And Winnie was going to be sharing about the same thing, that the aspect of just working hard is not enough, because we've seen people who are average at working, but they are making progress. And mainly partly it could be about their visibility and also being able to be strategic in the way they take their decisions around their careers. So Winnie, we want to welcome you back again. I hope you can be able to now speak to us. We are glad to have you drive this conversation and share with us whatever you prepared for us in this conversation. Over to you, Winnie.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach Samuel. Is my voice loud and clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
My side, I can hear you. I hope my team can also hear you. Team, feel free to
I hope
say
they
yes.
can hear you. Okay. I always like to connect to the camera, but I will put it off just to see whether that will help to reduce the interruptions and the on and off. But
That's
if it
okay.
goes off, just continue the conversation. I'll do
That's
a
fine.
presentation. Within the presentation, we can discuss. I want us to learn as much as we can also share so that we'll be able to interact. I'll give as much as I can to help us go through this conversation. So allow me to share, and I'll put off the camera just to see whether that will help. I've asked somebody to be checking my internet to check whether that is where the problem is. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you once again for joining me today. I'm glad that you are all here, and I hope that this is going to be beneficial to you, especially if you are looking at having a promotion. We are mid-year, and this is a time we want to look back and say the last 6 months, what has happened in our career? Is there somewhere we can go beyond here? And I welcome all of you to listen, take notes, and to be able to have this conversation, start having this conversation. I will engage you in a way that will help you to start having the conversation, even by yourself and even in the group. So feel free to engage, and I will start moving from here. So our topic today is unlock your next promotion, from stuck to seen in 3 steps. And then I would like us to look at these 3 steps. And I will be asking you questions. So I would love if you can be able to also respond. Use your chat. I'll put it on. I will want to see what you are thinking, because this is an interaction where we want to share, we want to engage with each other, and we want to get as much as possible. It's a two-way traffic where we are going to learn, both of us. Okay? So I would like you to ask yourself this question, because here you're watching and maybe you're not watching with somebody. And the question is, have you ever looked around and wondered what is keeping you getting overlooked? You look around, everybody is just going, moving, bypassing you. Why? Why do you get overlooked? Maybe that's a question that you've had. I have had this before. And I'm glad that we are all here. And maybe there are some questions I would like to engage you more. And you can keep answering this, and you can also put the answers in the message. I'll put the presentation aside and then look at the responses that we have. Which of these sits with you at your most at work? Yes, I want you to pick the one that says, this is it. Number one, I was bypassed. I still don't know why. I still don't know why. So you are the unseen high performer. That could be you. Or I hold back because I don't know how to be seen and I want to stay safe. That is the silenced leader. Some of us, we like to be really safe. So we'd rather keep quiet. So are you that leader? Number three, C, I have outgrown my role, but nobody is noticing. You are ready, but you are stuck. Are you A, B, or C? And you can put the answers, and I think Coach Samuel will help me to see. You can put your answers in the chats. Let's get engaged. Are you A? Are you B? Are you C? Where are you? Because this is a conversation we want to drive forward, and we want to see where we fit in and how we can help each other. Okay? So that is the first part. And I can see you're not responding. I think I'll stop there so that you respond, because we are here to converse. We are here to converse. So let me put it back. Then you can see, are you A? You are that high performer. You are unseen. Who is drawing? Somebody stop drawing on my screen. Somebody stop drawing on my screen. You are B or you are C. Okay? So respond there. Coach Samuel will help me because I can't move out of the screen.
Yes,
Okay.
so we have Joy says C, Mary says B, Rebecca says none, Kobel says B, Lydia says C, Chom says B, Esther says B, Dora says B and C, Kate says C, Daphne says C, and more are coming through.
Wow, so everybody is ready but stuck. Interesting. The next question I would like to ask is, when was the last time you felt truly seen and valued at work? Even if you can't remember, just say in the chat, I can't remember. It's valid. If you can remember, say today, yesterday, you can write in the chat. I'll be able to see the chat later, and Coach Samuel can help read that so that we can see where we are. And let's keep moving. Let's be responding.
Elizabeth says, I don't remember. Geoffrey says in 2022.
Wow.
More coming through as well. Isaac says February. Daphne says 2024, and more.
Okay.
Thank you. Joyce says 2022 and 2021. Rebecca 2013.
Wow, 2013, that's a long time. But we can see how this is coming along. So the next question is, what's the main reason you think you haven't moved up? One, it could be, I thought hard work alone would be enough. Is that what you have been thinking? Or, I have been winging it and no clear path. B, C, fear holding me back from stepping forward. D, I'm overwhelmed and under-supported. Which one? Just keep the answers coming. Just put it in the chat. Putting in the chat. Good. I can see the answers, but because I can't open the chat, Coach Samuel will read for us what is coming in.
We have Rebecca says B, Obel says C and D, Esther says C, Evelyn says no clear path, Lydia says between A and B, Carol says C, Mary says C, Margaret says B, Sewanyana says A, says D, Paul Legessa says B, A and B, Elizabeth says A, Obed says D, as but more come through.
Yeah, so I can see C is winning. Okay, let's move to another question. Now, what would a promotion actually mean to you beyond the title or the money? A, I would breathe easier financially. B, I would finally feel like I belong. C, I would stop doubting my worth. D, I would step into leadership and support others. E, I would prove myself and others what I can do. F, others. So keep the answers coming. Let's hear what it will do. Let's hear what it will do.
Okay, Joy says D. Carol says B.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret says D.
Mm-hmm.
Neville says D. Albeka says F.
Mm-hmm.
Albeka would like to know what other that. Geoffrey says D. Esther says D. Elizabeth says D. So D is coming through. Then one says F, both B and C.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, people do not want A, which is I would breathe easier financially. B and C. Okay, that's quite interesting. Okay, B, C, and D. There's somebody who says E, which is good. So those are some of the responses coming through as well.
Good. If nothing changes, where will you be this time next year? And can you live with that? If nothing changes, where will you be this time next year? And can you live with that? Is it a yes, a no, or other, or nothing? Mm-hmm. Let's hear. What are they saying? They'll be okay? There's no
Okay,
response?
somebody says no option. Dora says no option. Carol says no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think others are still thinking on whether,
Okay.
if nothing, Jeff Baker says no. So I think no is coming through. Ruth says no.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that they really want to live with as well. Ruth says
Yeah,
no.
I guess it's.
Joyce says
Uh-huh.
embark on building my personal brand. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, at least that one has got a plan. And that one has got a plan. It's good to know what you are thinking. It's good also to engage and feel and see how you are thinking about your future. And I want to start by saying you're in the right place if you feel that you have hit a ceiling and you can't explain why. And that was my first question. You can't explain why are these people bypassing me? Why am I not fitting in the place? You're in the right place if you are tired of watching others get promoted while you stay in the same spot. You're in the right place because you know you are capable. And I believe everyone who is here is capable. They're capable, fully capable, but unsure how to show it in a way that lands to your decision makers, to your bosses, and to the people who are concerned. You're in the right place if you feel overlooked and leveraged and out of alignment. Yes, sometimes you feel that discomfort. I'm not in alignment with who I am. You see, idea, you are capable. And in the right place if you are ready to be seen as a leader, not just as a worker. And I believe everyone who is here is a leader. And I always believe we are all leaders. Okay, my name as introduced is Winfred. Okay, that's my official name, but most people call me Winnie. So I just wrote Winfred because that's what you're most likely going to find, because now as everything in the world is changing, we are also being told to go back to our official name. So my official name is Winfred Kamuya, second name, but most people call me Winnie. So if you call me Winnie, fine. If you address me Winnie, fine. I'm the CEO and founder of International Renaissance Center. I'm an international best-selling author. I'm a speaker. I'm a leadership development coach, and I'm a mentor. I've been able to get opportunities. I've been featured in newspapers, in TV, in radio. I've been invited to speak. I've written books. I've co-authored with others. I've hosted leaders. I've also hosted in 2001, I was able to host a live virtual sessions on leadership. Even before we were in the virtual world, I was already hosting the Jack Welch, Juliana, all those leaders. Leadership was something that I was passionate about. I've been able to mentor. I've been invited to also to speak in various platforms. So I just picked a few because I thought this could interest you. So those are my books, the 3 books I've written. But it wasn't like this at all. It wasn't like this. In 1994, I was a housewife having a 4-month-old baby. And here is the catch, because at that time, I traveled out of my country, Kenya. I went to a foreign country in Southern Africa. So I knew nobody, zero, 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 zero. I knew nobody, I had no presence. I had not even started working to like make matters worse because I had just finished my first degree B.Ed. So I knew nobody. I'm here carrying a baby in a place where they speak another language that I have no clue. Okay. But then I had those options, and that is where I had to start leading myself and stop waiting to be picked. So now that I do what I do, my mission, and I'll be discussing as we go along, you will get to see where you fit in, is to help mid-level managers who feel overlooked and undervalued to rise with confidence, gain visibility, and lead with impact. I hope my screen is visible. Let me put that there.
Yes, it's visible.
Visible. Because, okay, I'm seeing the control, so for me, I assume it's not. So that's what I embarked to do. And one of the things that I had Coach Samuel speaking about when I was going on and off are some of the things that we always have in the back of our minds that don't actually align with what we think. And the following are some of the myths that we have. We go in for certificates, and certificates, more certificates, because we think more certificates automatically will give me a promotion, right? That's what we think. But in real world, does it work like that? Does it work like that? I don't know about your case, but I know I have a master's in business administration, and I'll talk about it again. Then you think that you will keep on doing good job and that's enough. That's just enough. Let me do my work. I don't want anybody to bother me. I will do my work the way it should be done. Or you think that hard work will speak for itself. They will see I've done good work. I've done my work the way it should be. And you sit back and say, now they should be able to see. After all, I have the certificate. I've done good work and my work should speak. Let me tell you, sometimes it doesn't work like that. The more you get certificates, the more you might not even get that job. The more you are saying to yourself, let me get another one, let me get another one, let me get another one. Maybe the opportunities are just going. Why? And that is why I'm here today to announce to you that you are not waiting for permission. You are actually preparing for positioning. So in this session, I'll be helping you to position, because your certificates will not give you the next promotion. Your good work will not actually be seen. And what you think that other people are seeing, I'm a CEO, and I can tell you sometimes I'm not aware of what the other person is doing. So you sitting there and doing your good work and assuming that I'm seeing, I might not be seeing. You have to be preparing to position yourself. You have to be very strategic. So there are various things that I would like us to address today so that we can come up with 3 steps that will help us to be able to position ourselves. I've said position. I'm trying to use the words that will be easy to understand, and Coach Samuel, if there's anything that comes in between, you can also interrupt me. So I want us to start by understanding what are these career barriers. What is holding us back, because sometimes there's something. It is not the certificate, I've told you. It is not your good work. And remember, I said you're already qualified, right? I already said you are qualified. So let that remain in your mind. You are qualified, but you are still being bypassed. You are qualified. So you have that certificate, you have degree, you have diploma, you have, I don't know how many diplomas and degrees and PhDs. You have many. You have many, because even me, I have some. So what is holding you back? And I would like us to look at some of the things that hold us back. And we start asking ourselves, are these the things that have been holding us back? And we find that there are obstacles that will come in the way and hold us back, but there are things sometimes we cannot touch and say, this is it. Now we want to be touching them. And we have two kinds, and that is the mindset-driven barriers. These are the small voices that we hear telling us stories whenever we want to get out of the area of comfort that we are used to. So we begin to have self-doubt. We begin to fear taking that risk. And we begin to start asking ourselves, really, am I good enough to fit there? Those are the things I'm addressing. Or there are those structural barriers which could be within the organization, and there's nothing you can do about that. And some of this, if there's nothing you can do about, I'm sure there is a way or some other opportunities that are somewhere else that you could think about. So structural barriers can come in terms of limited promotion opportunities or lack of organizational support, and maybe some requirements in terms of certification that you need that must be, especially for professional people who are in certain lines, that this is the highest you can reach. So it is you now to think, how will I position myself? Because now I've reached the limit of the certifications, right? And we need to start thinking, how do we now get ourselves out there to position? Because we know if we don't, these barriers are stalling us. They are limiting us from growth. They are limiting and shrinking us and shrinking the person we want to be. I want to tell you that whatever qualification you have today, you can still enhance and provide value in ways that you have never imagined. But if you are stuck there with your certificates and saying that I have the certificate, there's nothing else I can do, then you are stuck. It's your choice. It's your choice. I want you to be aware, because some of these things, we allow them to sit with us. So like I said, there's mindset and there are structural barriers. And I continue to say those conversations that are always taking place in our head, because mine also does that. Those conversations that keep telling you, I'm not good enough. That if I fail, the entire world will laugh at me. That if I fail, that I will not be able to rise. And I want to remind you, so many people have failed and have risen from even those failures. So you avoid to do something that seems challenging because you're avoiding to be challenged, to make mistakes, to fail, to take a leadership role, because everybody's watching. And I know how it feels to be watched, because I'm one of the people who used to run away from that, because I didn't want people watching, judging, talking about me. Those are some of the voices. Those are some of the voices talking to us and telling us how small we are. Are we not reminded that we are as great as God? But somehow, that small voice seems to have a bigger control over us, right? Over who we are supposed to be, who we are, who we are becoming. That voice, okay? It comes in. And anytime you want to apply for a certain position, it comes in form of telling you that you are not good enough. You know those voices? Yeah, you are not good enough. You are not qualified. You need another degree. You need a PhD. No, you need this one. It will always remind you need something. That imposter syndrome. It will always remind you need something. Like it is never satisfied. We need to start having conversations with ourselves and start asking certain questions. And I have some of this in the video. And I want you to be asking yourself every time this this specific voice comes to you, you ask the question that you are saying, I don't have this, I have done this, and you'll be shocked at how they will retreat. Okay? We talked about the structural barriers, which are external. It could be environment, it could be your organization, and those can affect your application or your growth to the next role. Degree requirement, organizational politics, which affects a lot of people that are influencing decisions. And I'm sure if you are in an organization, you should expect there's politics. There's politics even in church. There's politics everywhere. And you need to understand, how is this working and how can you navigate? And then there is the glass ceiling that says maybe this kind of people cannot go past this. How do you navigate those things? Because they're there. This is real life. We are not talking about theories. This is real life. And I think one of the things that we are blessed is that we are already qualified and we deserve more. The minute we can be able to change that and say we deserve more, the minute that we'll be able to know that there is many things that we can do that we always assume we can do. And I like to share this because sometimes, as we can see, the donkey is not going to move. And it will not move because sometimes the chains that prevent us from being free are more mental than physical. The donkey is convinced that that rope is tied to something so heavy that it cannot move. The question is, those things that have been tying you and telling you you can't move, is there a way now to identify them with this donkey story? If there is, then start asking yourself those questions. Have I been lying to myself? Because actually you've been lying to yourself that you're not good enough and it's okay for other people to go ahead of you. And we know very well you are qualified. So the exercise that I would have liked to do would be to look at the various things that we have faced as individuals and to separate them into mental barriers and structural barriers, because we need clarity. What is stopping me from moving forward? What are those things that are stopping me from moving forward? Is it mindset barriers? Is it structural barriers? Then from there, we'll be able to move. I tell you, before I became a CEO and before I even started to interact or to see myself differently, one of my biggest barriers was fear of public speaking. My God, I'm a teacher by profession, I'm a trained teacher, but anything that scared the hell out of me was speaking in public. And I can tell you, I excused myself from 2 appointments when I was in high school because I was just afraid. I refused to be the deputy head girl. I was afraid to speak. I was afraid to be judged. I went to higher school. I was elected captain. This time I could not escape because we were not many. So I found a way to escape that. And I asked one of my friends who was a captain that when I'm on duty, because when you're on duty, the whole week you have to address in the assembly. So we agreed, when I'm on duty, you give me your roles, and then you go, you speak. So that's how I survived for a whole year. Like, I'm really running away from me, from who I am meant to be. Me now, speaking. This is now a different person. And that voice, because it's very distinct, it said, you can't talk in front of people, they will laugh at you. Who do you think you are? You can't, everything. But now I speak, I lead teams, I have to speak, I train, I mentor, I coach, I speak. Because it is within these mindset barriers that stops you from who you're supposed to be. And fear of public speaking for leaders, it's a big time thing. And let me tell you, I'm still learning. I'm still training. To speak. I'm still practicing every day. I'm still training how to speak better, how to be a good speaker or a better speaker, whatever you want to put. Because in leadership, you're going to be talking to people and you need to convince them. You can't be talking to them if you can't even talk to them. Okay? It's a mindset thing. It's telling you, you can't speak, you have nothing to share, you don't know, they laugh at you, you speak broken English, I don't know, you do whatever it is that they're telling you. Then maybe you are perfectionist, you want everything to be completely okay. Where has that happened anyway? Where? Nowhere. So you have to keep going. You have to understand you are work in progress. Keep going. You lack confidence in networking. And here we are beginning to network, and you yourself don't want even to network, don't even want to talk. And I'm speaking as even somebody who is an introvert. I can stay with you and not even talk to you. But because I want to be in a leadership position, some skills I must learn. I must overcome those mindset barriers. There are many others, but I just chose a few. Structural barriers. Are there leadership opportunities? Yes, no. If they're not, are those opportunities available in other places? And this is where I always talk to people and I always tell people, volunteer. Volunteer in the other department, whatever they are doing. You are going to learn skills, you are going to be exposed, you are going to challenge yourself, you are going to do something you'd otherwise not do. You are going to be somebody you didn't know you were. And the best is that you might discover something you didn't know about yourself. Because like I'm telling you, after running for how many years, running away from public speaking, I speak, I do my videos, I don't shy away, I love them. Even during COVID, I was okay. I put my Zoom, I played. That's the person I was running away from. That's the person. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? So look for those opportunities because they'll be there. You don't have to go to the next level in your department where you are. You could get that in the next department, in another organization. But these things you have to be doing them. Bureaucratic organizational structure. What is the structure? And I think this is important because you need to understand what is this culture in the organization, because in most cases, those cultures, they are not written anywhere. So you'll not find them. You have to use your brains. Yeah, I think I'm speaking to people who are smart. I believe everyone who is here now is a smart brain. So there's a way you can understand and see these cultures. They are not written anywhere, but you can read. This is done like this, and we need to know why it's done like this. I'll come back to that in a little later. Stringent degree requirements. What are those degree requirements? I said there are some professionals, like if you are in accounts, maybe you need to do the CPA. If you are an engineer, you need to go to the engineering. If you are a doctor, you need to go to do medicine at the hospital. And those are some of the things. And you break them down to help you to begin to see why are you stuck. Because you actually want to address this problem of stuckness. Because once you understand this, it will help you. And now we move to ensuring that you're successful. And for you to be successful, you need to now categorize these barriers, describe what it is in your language. In your language, I mean in your language. You know, we understand. I'm a teacher. I told you I'm a teacher by profession. So the first thing is that if I'm speaking to you in English. Most of you are from Uganda, different dialects. So you're understanding in your dialect, and then you are transferring back again to English. So I must be able to help you to discern whatever I'm saying so that you are able to describe it in your own language. I told you about my fear of public speaking. So I want you to identify what is that fear for you, or whatever it is that you have. You want to be able to put words that describe it so that you understand clearly what is it that you are facing. And we want to divide it into mindset and then structure and then associated words, feelings, if there are feelings, because sometimes there are feelings like when you see this, you start to feel. Is it the fear? Like I would say, hey, public speaking, then I'd be like, me? No, I can't, you know? And when I hear that I'm going to speak, then I want to shrink, because now I'm thinking about how people are going to laugh at me when I'm speaking and things like that, right? Because that will help you, because we say that we can't solve what we haven't named. We want to point a finger at it and say, you are the animal I am facing, and I want to deal with you. And unless you you are able to identify, you might not be able to deal with it. Okay. And just to pause a little bit, and then we'll move a bit faster. Coach Samuel, you can help me. If there are some comments that are being made there, you can help me say whatever they're saying, because I want to ask the questions, and I think some of the questions I want to ask from here, maybe they have already made a comment on that. Can you say something?
Oh my gosh.
All right. Great sharing, and we're really following through whatever you're sharing. I believe that we're learning. Friends, are you learning something in the chat box? Should you just share something that you've learned so far, such that we know we're on the right track and you're following through?
They can actually, they can even just say whatever barriers are resonating with them most, whether it's mindset, structural, whichever they think has been coming their way.
Yeah, so Margaret says, now I'll look for others. Okay, I think maybe she was commenting on something. Obel was embarked on growth. David says, okay, I think he was struggling to hear and was asking if I would share the presentation. Ruth says, my barriers are both mindset and structure. Thank you so much, Ruth, for sharing. Joyce says, organizational politics. Bed says his fear is public speaking. Jim says fear of public speaking has really been one for him. Thanks for sharing. Dora says both barriers. Ruth says organizational bureaucracy. Elizabeth says I've learned that I can volunteer in another department. Thank you so much for sharing. They have learned that it's beyond papers to grow. Both mindset and organizational structure, fear of public speaking. I see that coming through. Again, mindset barriers. I learned that it's beyond paper to grow. Being more creative to attract opportunities and expand network. Yeah, just keep this coming through, being focused on results oriented. So they're sharing some of their lessons as well as their fears as well. Being to attract opportunities and expand networks. Yeah, so thanks friends that are following, and thank you for being active and sharing whatever you're sharing. Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Coach Samuel, and thank you everyone for following through and identifying and pointing at that thing that has been sitting with you and really harassing you. And like I said public speaking because every time I speak, people come to me, can you train me how to do public speaking? I'm like, oh my God. And I just say, if you knew I was not a public speaker, if you only knew, but you know what? We'll see. So give yourself permission to want more, and you don't need more qualifications. And that's why when we looked at the 3 myths, one of the things was the certificates and more degrees and more what. Even me, I want to get a PhD, but I said, after I realized that I really don't need more qualifications, right? And you don't need to wait for somebody else to tap your shoulder. You don't need anyone. You just need permission. And that permission, the first person who gives you permission is you. So it starts with you. You are allowed to want more without guilt, and you don't need any fixing. You just need unlocking. You just need unlocking. And I gave you my story of how I ran like Jonah. I ran. Now that I left, I had finished my degree in education. Now I'm so excited. I'm going out of the country. I will never get into classroom. I'm done with my teaching. Done. What am I doing today? I'm teaching. I'm coaching. I'm mentoring. The thing that I was running away from is the one thing that was supposed to sit with me in my life. So I love quotes, and this quote really sits with me so well, because one of the things that we might not be aware is that we are born with the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Only those two fears, falling and loud noises. All the other fears are imposed by society. So if fear is learned, so is courage. So we can learn. We can learn. And what does this mean to you? It means that it's not a permanent thing. It's just a belief, and all beliefs can change. So those who have been saying public speaking, you fear, give yourself courage and start working on that. I'm here to support you. If you need support, I'm here to support you. You should get out of that and be who you're supposed to be, because maybe your voice is what somebody else is waiting to hear for them to move to. You're about maybe to save a life and you don't know. I don't know, but start thinking how you can overcome that. Have courage. And this is where we begin, because now that you are aware, they say, when you are aware, you behave different. Now you are aware there are only two fears we are born with: fear of falling and fear of loud noises. Fear of falling and fear of loud noises. So keep in mind that if anything else crops up in your fear list, please remind it that you have only two fears in life that you need to worry about. So let's look at step one. We need to diagnose and strategize. So the first thing is to uncover what's holding us back. And then from there, once we identify, once we point at whatever it is that is holding us back, we said it could be fear of public speaking. Now we begin to design a clear roadmap to the advancement. How do I want to overcome this? How do I want to do this? How do I want? But before we can do that, there are things that we need to set out clearly, because we need to understand, now that I'm afraid of public speaking, and maybe I don't need public speaking in my career, then do I need to follow through and start training myself on how to speak to public or how to do public speaking? We need to get clear. Where is your career heading? And I gave you the example of, I know I'm a leader and that's why I must speak. And that's why I had to put myself, to give myself courage and start doing the public speaking. Whether I fear or not, whether I make mistakes or not, I will speak. I need it. So imagine yourself, you are here today, and don't worry, because I'd set that one to January, and we are in June 2025, and we are planning for December 2025, and we need to be clear, where do I want to be? And within this time frame, or whatever time frame, and a lot of careers, people want to work within 1 year, 2, 3 years. So that they say within 3 years. I had somebody who said they were recognized or appreciated in 2013. I think that's a bad sign. I'm not sure I am sitting comfortable with that. We need to strategize something about that. But I want you to think, in 1 year's time, in 2 years' time, do you want to be in the same place? If not, what are those bold actions you need to do or you need to take? And for the ones who've been saying public speaking, bold action number one would be to start addressing that public speaking issue like yesterday. Like yesterday, I mean it, like yesterday. Like, where do you speak? And there are many forums. Actually, I've never joined, but there are many forums that are there. Toastmasters, what? There are many. And you can go for training if you're scared like me. I was like, I'm scared. Where will I go? I don't want people to see me. There are many places. I'm actually mentoring a university student in speaking, and you cannot believe we are doing this on recorded videos, and she has changed. You cannot believe from our first presentation to the presentation she has. So I'm encouraging you, don't let anything be a barrier. In any case, I'm in Kenya, I'm in Nairobi, you are in Kampala, and I'm transforming your lives. So what is stopping you? Bold action 2, bold action 3. You need to start thinking. And when you're thinking towards this, you're asking yourself, today I'm here. And I'll give you examples from my life, because then I hope that can help you. And I was saying, I want to be the CEO. I wanted to be an author, right? I wanted to do ABCD. And when I'm saying these things, I'm now beginning to put plans in places. What do I need to be an author? What do I need to be a good leader? What do I need to be if I'm going to be a CEO, that I'm able to speak? Because like I said, I was really afraid. I'm an introvert, then I'm here saying I'm a CEO. I don't even want to address people. I don't even like groups and what have you, but I have to speak. So I knew I need my public speaking skill. And I started working on that. I gave myself timelines, even though, like I mentioned, I'm still learning. If I could be better, let me learn. There's nothing stopping me. And unfortunately, one of the things that I've noticed, because I started training in 2001, I notice one of the things with us adults is that once we leave school, once we start working, that's the end. We close the books. Reading is for our children. I'm here to spoil that for you and to tell you that you only stop learning when you are dead, like dead, or when you're in hospital, you can't do anything. That's when learning ends. But as long as you are able, you are okay. You're supposed to be learning, even if it's reading a book. You're supposed to be doing that, reading a book that will change the way you think, that will move you to a place that you would otherwise not move yourself, because like books help you to move. Do something that you will not do. I'll not be an author, but listening to one of my coaches, I said, I want to write a book. And she has given me the opportunity to write the book in 3 months and have a book published. I exactly stepped on that stage and wrote my book. My fear was done. So I released my 3rd book this year. So I want to encourage you that you can't move from who you are today to who you are becoming without taking action. This is work in progress. Work in progress. So you want to be the next, I was speaking to a lady last week. She wants to be a director. You want to be the next director in your department, in your organization. What must you do to step there? These are the bold actions I'm talking about. Start thinking about them, right? But first you have said what you want to become. And then, because now we have identified, by December, I want to be a director. Now we want to ask the question, because our topic today is ensuring we get the next promotion. Why the promotion? Because if we don't have the motivation, if we don't have the why, along the way, we'll find we get busy, we volunteer, we drop. I don't even need that promotion. What is it for? So we need to start asking questions, and I always use a value ladder because this will be able to ask you the questions you need to ask yourself. So on one side, one ladder is filled in, on the other side, it's blank. The blank is supposed to be yours. So the one that is filled in is just example to help you. So normally the first thing about a promotion is that you just want a job security, maybe salary. And that's why I think today's Coach Samuel's topic was like, I just want money. It was answering question number, the bottom, like the basic. All of us want a salary, all of us. Beyond a salary, what else do we want? What else? And for you to be able to ask this question, I want you every step to ask yourself, so what? So I get a salary. So what? Then you say, oh, so I am financially independent. So what? I'm not a burden to my family. So what? I can start giving and not taking. So what? I can enjoy my life, or I can leave a legacy. Like, keep asking, and it could be more and more questions. These are few examples. Start asking, because this is what guides your mind. Have a notebook. In that notebook, there's the first page says, your mind is able to process 60,000 words or something per minute. But anytime you pick on one and write one thing, the mind like focuses on that thing like nobody's business, like this is it. So if you're writing, you're doing the right thing, because then you'll be able to ask yourself those questions. So you ask yourself, I'm getting a promotion, so what? I'll get money, so what? So that I'm independent financially, so what? Okay, you keep asking because you want to get deeper into this why. When you get deeper into this why, anytime you feel discouraged, that voice, you know, that guy who keeps a silent voice behind the scenes, they're never seen, but when you go to sleep, they're there. They tell you you're not good enough. You need to remind them, I need to be financially independent. I don't need to be a burden. I want to start giving to others. And by answering this, you'll be able to be answering yourself. Because the other thing is that once you're able to answer that, there are things you are going to do that will make and move you to the next level. Because I want you to be operating in a in a level that is the person who is becoming. Remember, we are all qualified. We have things to offer, but we've been bypassed many times, and we are being bypassed for various reasons. So in step 2, you have to package yourself for success. And for you to package yourself, there's a way you have to elevate your leadership presence. Showcase your true value and build intentional visibility that commands attention. Let me tell you, all of you have this opportunity. And I'm telling you, if you are left alone and given an assignment without anybody's help, you'll be able to deliver whatever is expected of you because you have the skills and you have the expertise. But anytime when it's time now to present this, then it becomes another story. And that's why you see when that part of public speaking is important, you need to work on it. So how do you showcase that value? You've done the work. You've done the work. Now you need to present. And I'll give you this example. I love this story. When I first heard about it, I was like, what? Anyway, it's a story of how you can show your true value. And it's a story of the ship repairman story. I don't know if you've heard, if you've heard, good. If you've not heard, it will be your first time, and I hope it will be able to help you show your true value. So this ship gets spoiled. The engine is not working. They call in engineer after engineer, and nobody seems to be solving the problem. Nobody can find out what or where the problem is, and the ship is stuck. It is not going to move, and it is carrying valuables. Then someone says, there's an old man we think can help. Let's just call him and see whether he'll be able to help us. So they call this man. He comes with a small hammer and his toolbox, his small bag. Doesn't look like he really understands what's going on. And he goes up, down, sideways, everywhere. And then he comes and sits somewhere, puts his bag aside, removes his small hammer, and taps a nail. Tap, 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 tap. Done. The engine starts. Everybody's celebrating. Wow, it's done. And you know what? He leaves them, they are gone. 2 weeks later, he sends an invoice of $10,000. And everybody's asking, what? 10,000? Is this guy mad? Is he okay? Is he crazy? How can he send $10,000 invoice? Like, who does he think he is? They reply back, can you send us itemized bill? I think I'm speaking to many accountants, Coach Samuel, this is your area. And the guy sends back the itemized invoice. It says $2 tapping the nail. 9998 knowing where to tap. Does that tell you about value? If it doesn't, there's nothing I can do to help you. Because if you know where, you can charge any amount. If you know where, they didn't know where. They just saw the nail. They just saw him tapping the nail. That's it. But they didn't know which nail. He knew. That's where your value is. All of you, you have a value somewhere. You have a value somewhere. And when I work with you, we always get there. You have a value somewhere. So let this story remind you that your value can be shared, and it is your value you are going to use for that promotion. It's not your degree. It's not your PhD. I want to do a PhD, but I'm not doing a PhD because I want to be paid alongside that. But I know where I need to show I have, then I will do that, okay? Again, I want to show you that you can be your best in your unique ways, because all of us are gifted in different ways. And here, I believe you can watch. And as you're watching, just write in the chat what you're seeing. Please write what you're seeing. But Samuel, you can read for me what they're writing.
All right. Looking forward to the comments as we see what is coming through. But good, great session. Winnie, we are following through. So somebody says chameleon. Thank you, Sanyu. Okay, a chameleon moving its leg on a plant branch. That's Lydia.
Okay.
Okay, focused with small steps. That's Cobell. Steven says sees a chameleon. Carol says slow moving chameleon.
Okay.
Kansime says chameleon with green and blue color.
Okay.
Derek says two people lying longitudinally.
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
Thank you.
Chameleon pulling into something to get somewhere.
Thank you for that. And let me show you what you are seeing. And the person who got it right, I'll send you something on PDF.
Is Derek.
Yeah. See, when you're so good, people cannot tell. And all of us are gifted in what we do. We know it, we are good, we can charge. We don't have to be told the value, we can ask without feeling ashamed. So this story is just to show you that you have the value. You have the value. Stop doubting you. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting you. And by the way, the first person who really has the biggest doubt is yourself. It's not even the other people, it's yourself. So you can see from this that you can really be the best. The person who got it right, well done for being observant. And I believe that where you are doing your best. And thank you so much. So step 3, it's securing your promotion. And like I said, one of the things that you need to do is to learn to network. I told you, networking can be difficult, but there are ways you can navigate that and you can learn. We said there are only 2 fears, so you need to tell yourself there are only 2 fears. Everything else is imposed on you by society, by environment, by whoever. Whoever said whatever they said because that is according to them, their limitations. So they were projecting their limitations on you. So you need to overcome that. So step 3 is you need to know how you are going to secure your promotion. You need to leverage strategic networking. You need to navigate those office dynamics, those politics with confidence. You need to position yourself as an obvious choice for leadership. I said you volunteer. Some of us don't want to volunteer, but you know what? We are going to learn because we are going to allow ourselves, we are going to give ourselves permission. We already know there are 2 fears, the rest imposed. And we are not falling in the promotion, we are going up. So there's no fear, there's courage, and we can be able. We are going to network and look for people who are going to be our ambassadors so that even when we are not there, we are going to be spoken about. So in ensuring that we get present, one of the things that I didn't want to use the word branding because there are people who are very uncomfortable about the word branding. But in leadership, it's presence. And it has to be strategic presence. It has to be strategic presence. And executive presence isn't about power poses. No, it's just aligning who you are. You are thinking, the way you do things, and the way you can show up those things. And I wanted to use this word, WIIFM, which stands for what's in it for me. What's in it for me? Okay. Why do I want to use this? As a CEO, there are ways that we listen to the people who are junior to us. And now I'm speaking to you as somebody who wants to go to the next level. If you want to go to the next level, the way you are going to speak is not going to be the way you speak to your juniors. Because when I'm listening to a person who I think I'll bring on my team, I'm listening for different things. And let me give you an example that will help you to quickly translate this. Like I said before, I have to make sure that you understand in your mother tongue, and then you can translate it in English. When you came for this presentation, you're asking, what's in it for me? That's what you're asking. What will she give me? Will she present what I'm expecting? Will she understand me? It's the same thing. When I'm sitting as the executive director, I'm listening. What you are going to propose, or why I need you as a leader. Are you going to push this organization to grow, to be better? That's what I'm listening. I'm not listening to things like yesterday, who is drawing on my screen? Please don't draw. I'm not listening to how many meetings you attended, how many reports you wrote. I'm listening. If this report is done, how can it change? So I want to help you to start communicating differently. Communicating differently, because that's how you grow your presence. When you're talking to me, are you adding value? Today you are here. You wanted to get value from me. Can you transfer that? So that when you're applying for that next role, can you transfer that? And I would like, when we start the question and answer, for you to share some of the things that you've learned from that. Can you transfer that? I would like you to be able to transfer that specific aspect, so that when you are communicating, you're not just talking about things that are not adding value to your boss, because your boss is busy. I want you to know that, number one, the bosses are very busy. They're thinking about where the company will be in 2 years, in 3 years. They're not thinking about your problems and how you need more money. They actually don't think like that. We don't think like that. And you can ask Coach Samuel, because he's an accountant. He's not thinking about how we'll give more money outside or pay more money. We are thinking, if you can make me more money, then I'll be able to give you more money. So I want you to change the way you communicate, the way you think, so that by the time you are going tomorrow or next week, when you start going next week, the way you are going to relate with the people who have been overlooking you is going to be different, so that they can see there is a difference. Please, at least let there be a difference, because now you know what's in it for me. You came here asking the question, what will I get from her? Will I benefit? No. If I don't benefit, I can go back to Coach Samuel and say that presentation didn't add value. I want you to think the same way, the same way. Now, for your next role, start thinking that way. And when you go now and you have volunteered, and you are in that team, you have volunteered, you're not being paid, you have volunteered. I want you to identify where you can add value, where you are so good. You said that, chameleon, you're so good. They can't like miss your presence. They keep asking, where is she? Where is he? We can't do anything without them. Have you gone to offices and you are told, just go to so and so? They'll sort you. That is what happens. Positioning. Did I say we were preparing for positioning? I think I said that when we were starting. So what's in it for me? Can you take it back? And next time, please don't write to Coach Samuel that you are not promoted. Please come with a different conversation, like how you are good where you are. Don't bring this conversation backwards, like bring it forward. And I want to use an example from one lady I worked with. She's based in Lesotho. I don't know if she's present, I can't see, but if she's present, she'll speak, because now she's comfortable, very comfortable to speak. I don't have to tell her anything. She speaks even if I don't tell her. And she's not the only one. There's also Sarah. I've mentored her. She's speaking, she's presenting, she's now showing up. So Naleti was really invisible. She was in a good office, really good office, smart, professional, but quietly holding back. And she sat in a place where she could really thrive. But nowadays, she's bold, confident, leading at the highest level. She was second guessing her voice and potential. I remember actually when I said, you're going to speak, she's like, no, I can't speak. Winnie, please, no, leave me. Now she speaks with executive presence and conviction. She's a leader. She was waiting to be noticed, promoted, sitting there, working hard, doing good work. Now she has created visibility, seized opportunities. She was fearful of stepping into the spotlight. She said yes to leadership even when it scared her. I still remember the day she sent me a message and Winnie, I am applying for a job. I think I am qualified. What do you think? I said, I don't think you are. Go ahead and apply. She applied. After I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks, she wrote back. She said, I have good news, I have bad news. I'm like, hi, which good bad news now? I'm trying to think, what did we discuss last? And she's like, yeah, good news and bad news. I said, start with the bad news. I can't actually remember the bad news, but the good news, I am going to be the executive secretary to His Majesty. She is up to this moment. So I tell you, these things are real. They're not stories. Sometimes it's those whispers that we hear. I started by identifying those ones because I knew that is what is sitting with you. And those whispers can be there every time, telling you stories and stories about how good you are not. And you know, if you believe and you continue, nothing is going to happen. So my question today is, and we started with this conversation, are you either of these three? Are you the unseen high performer? Or are you the silenced leader? Or are you ready but stuck? And I think some of you said you are ready and stuck. And I think I had most of you lie there, stuck and ready. So if you are unseen high performer, you've put all the work, you've delivered, but still overlooked, and you don't know why. So I'm telling you, what you need is clarity on your career strategy. Language to articulate your value, and I think I've given you examples there. Visibility without bragging, right? And that's why I didn't talk about like branding, because a lot of people associate branding with like bragging. I didn't bring that. If you're a silenced leader, you know you have more to give, but you're afraid to speak up, to step forward, or to take the space. You know that part where you're going to stand, then you stop. You're going to raise your hand, then you put your hand down, which is one of the things that I always encourage people, because I was that one person that always holding down my hand. I want to speak. No, don't talk. Oh, no, don't talk. What you need is confidence, a clear voice, safe ways to own your leadership. And remember, you can be even soft-spoken, but a very good leader and be able to present yourself. You don't need to be an extrovert. I've never been, and all my friends, even those who are extroverts, they just love me the way I am. So I'm not changing you. I want you to remain who you are. If you are ready and stuck and you're saying you have outgrown your role, now you are ready to move. You are not confused, just tired of being on pause. You want to move. You're just feeling you're stuck in this glue. You want to move. What you need is momentum, accountability, and a direct plan to claim your next level. And I'll just share the various ways, okay? The various ways, because the question you'll keep asking yourself, what do you need right now? What do you need right now? And I think most of the times we always have answers, but we don't know, and we don't want to move forward. Again, I said we have two fears, falling and loud noises. So the rest we have learned. But the question for me now is, what if you had a roadmap that is personalized to your journey, because you have identified yourself, you are 1, 2, or 3. But you see, I can't generalize all of you are in the same journey. And that is why it is good for me to say that you can have your own personal journey. Where you are going and where your neighbor or the other person is going is different. So here is what happens when you work together. And I was talking about Naleti a while ago. There she is. And she is the executive secretary to His Majesty. And you can imagine the changes that have been. I worked with Irene, and she moved from a GM position to a board advisory. I worked with Andrew. Andrew is even surprised me and his friends because he moved from just being an employee. He's an author, he's an international speaker, paid international rates. You see why I say sometimes can limit you. But when they limit you, there are other opportunities, but you need to identify. Andrew wrote the book, we finished the book. He was even asking me, before even you could finish the book, he already had orders. And everybody's saying, like, give me the books. And now he was now afraid. Winnie, we are still writing the book. What do we do? The book is not out. I said, yeah, people know you have value. Remember, I talked about value? So now you can see what I was talking about. So I've just given you a few examples. There are many. Your moment is now. And we can unlock it together. We can unlock this using the promotion roadmap coaching. These are coaching programs that I use, and I've taken you through some of the things that we do through the 3 steps. And just to summarize what we normally do, it's a 7-week journey. And in each week, we're looking at different things. In week 1, we look at leadership identity. That's your vision. Remember when I started asking you, where are you? Where do you want to go? We are looking at that. We are aligning with the values of who you are, your traits, whatever it is, impact that you want to create. Because sometimes we're in the wrong place and we don't know. And what is calling us inside is something different. Week 2, we do a career diagnosis and strategy. We uncover those hidden roadblocks and map your career plan. Week 3, we now begin to speak the leadership narrative. The branding now comes in here, just to understand branding and how it can help you to position yourself, because you have to position yourself. Then now week 4, we are looking at how you bring in yourself visible to your decision makers so that they can see you. We are auditing on how you are visible and how you can elevate your presence. Week 5, we are looking at influence, and influence is very important because as a leader, you need to be influencing other people. So you need to exert influence. You need to build leadership connections. Very important, because you'll be going to be here. I didn't know 2 or 3 months before I didn't know Coach Samuel. I'm here today. You'll begin to have leadership conversations week 6, and we are talking about how to negotiate, how to bring in you, and especially if you think you have no value. I've given you the example of the ship repairman to tell you value is everywhere. I'm telling you, it's everywhere. Then you are beginning on week 7, you are ready for career ownership and final steps. So this is a step-by-step, and I look at each person differently because all of us have got different journeys. I can tell you my journey has really changed. I don't know how many times. Journey is just looking like, what is this it? But it's because there are things that I wanted. There are things that I wanted. I told you I've written 3 books. More. I still want to write more books. So that is in my map. But you might say, no, Winnie, not yet ready for coaching yet. I have something. This is something small. And I've just mentioned this for those people who will be reaching out to me, and I'll give my contacts here. You can start with this. This is something that I've compiled, some PDFs, some videos, some of the things we've talked about today. You'll find them there. They are yours for good. You download, you fill in. I want you to write. Did I say 60,000 thoughts? One thought that you have written down goes like a narrow, which is focused on where it is supposed to go. Very, very important. You get how to deal with your mindset, because the first problem is your mindset. Then you deal with the identity. Who do you want to become? Who do you want to be known as? I always find that very important. Because if you don't apply that, my friend, we will be coming for your funeral, but we don't know who you are. We want to start writing history backwards. And then the last group, there are 15 pieces in that. And the last one is action and execution, things that you can start off immediately. This time next year, do you want to be wondering or to be celebrating? I don't know about you, but every time I get into a place that expands me, I just say to myself, I want to be different. I want the next person to interact with me to be different. And I want the experience to be different so that people can be impacted by me. Your career isn't stuck. You are just waiting. It's just waiting for you to step forward. That's you. You have to step forward, nobody else. So let's talk and let's avoid you figuring it out alone. I'm here to support you and I'll walk the journey with you. I'll be proud because I know people who have helped me, they are always happy, and I'm also proud that I took that decision. So tonight, I want to throw the ball to your side. Thank you so much. I've left my contacts there. You can go ahead and note down. My contacts are there. I've left the official number because I know Coach Samuel is going to put that in YouTube. So that's International Renaissance Center's number, mobile WhatsApp. So you can send, I'll be able to see that, but you can still write an email directly to me. I'll ask Coach Samuel to put me in the group and you can engage me, right? You can engage me and we can see how we can transform your life. I want to be able to hear a different story because I know I've had many different stories. This year alone, the person who has made it possible for me to be here today is here. I think Sarah is here, she's here. And Sarah has benefited from what I do. And I want you to be a beneficiary and I want you to also impact another person. Let me tell you, this journey of leadership is not about you alone. It's extending to other people who come after you, people who are looking up on you, people who wish that part of them being in your shoes. We want to bring them so that they can be able to enjoy what you've enjoyed. Thank you so much. I'll stop the share there and we can engage from there. Is that okay, Coach Samuel?
That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. All right. Thank you so much, Winnie, for sharing. We can see quite a number of comments here coming through. Most of the people are really saying thank you so much. I think somebody was saying if we'll be able to get the presentation, Winnie will be able to comment on that. But thank you so much. And you mentioned something that's very critical. I think you said one of your mentee made this session possible. So I want to ask Sarah to just come through and give vote of thanks. And I just want to say thank you so much, Sanyu, for feeling that Winnie needed to speak to all of us and being part of this. Sarah, are you able to speak? Sorry for ambushing you, but grab the opportunity.
Oh, thank you very much, Coach Samuel. Good evening to you all, and thank you very much for making it today. My name is Nakazwe Sarah Sanyu, and I happen to be one of the members that were there when Transformationers Club was, the Professionals Transformations Club was getting started. Back then I was still at the university, but I was towards completing my course. Sorry. So after the university, I went ahead to volunteer, like Madam Winnie has said. If you want to really do better, take on those opportunities. So I went ahead and volunteered as a policy analyst at Uganda Network of Businesses. So right now, I was promoted to a policy analyst, and before that, I really benefited a lot from Dr. Muhammad Moki, the executive director, Uganda Network of Businesses, and then Madam Winnie Kamuya from International Renaissance Center, Kenya. So they are really so good at mentoring and guiding. And before I met them, I was part of the Transformationers Club. So after me benefiting from Madam Winnie and her services, I really felt like there are thousands of people who need to actually also benefit from what she does. At least if she normally posts very good posts on LinkedIn. So if you can be in touch and read her posts every day, I believe that a lot can change in your life. So, and again, if you go an extra mile to deal with her on a personal basis, in not less than 2 months, there is a very big difference, because myself, I did my internship for only 3 months. Yes. And I believe that a lot has really happened and I have been transformed.
Thank you so much, Sanyu, and kudos to Winnie for all that she has done in transforming you. From the presentation and whatever you've shared, we can see a lot of transformation, and we believe that even other people will be able to tap into the same transformation. So somebody asked how they can join the Transformation Professionals Club. I've shared the link there. I'll also just share a link to Madam Winfred's LinkedIn page. You can search for her. She's Winfred Kamuya. You'll be able to see her page there. I've tagged her in the previous posts. If there is one or two takeaways from your session, from this session, you can take a screenshot and just share on LinkedIn and tag the Transformation Professionals Club, myself, or Coach Winnie, so that we can be able to share the message across. So at this point in time, we welcome some questions that will come through. I think one of the questions, Coach Winnie, that came through was around, let me just try to see. There was a question from somebody around public speaking. I don't know if Coach Winnie, you want to just share a few tips around how you've become confident. I think this question is coming from Kilabo, Carol. What are some of those things that you've done that have helped you move from somebody who used to fear public speaking to now being a confident speaker? Because from the presentation and whatever we've seen, you also do have watched some of your videos. You've been able to transform yourself on this journey. Do you want to share some tips?
Sure. I think one of the things is, and I said, and I love one of the things that for those people who said, and for me, it's public speaking. Because once you identify what it is, now you know what you're dealing with. Just start by contributing in small meetings. Add value, like when people are discussing, ask a question, like if you're very fearful, ask a question. Normally that gives you ways. And when people are contributing, then you can now give points. Don't shy away, even if they sound awkward. Nobody has your ideas. The minute you realize that nobody has your ideas, you're going to be amazed that people can actually take in your ideas. And when people start to acknowledging your ideas, you begin to get confident. Sarah was not as confident as she is. She's been picked on the spot. She's speaking. Sarah wasn't like that. But when we started the mentorship, I said, if you're not going to talk, I won't know you. Like I said, I'm busy. I won't know you. I actually don't run a big organization, but you can add value. I have I work with people even who are in Uganda, but I can ensure that you are participating. When the opportunities are like, please talk, please ask a question. It's the only way you'll build your confidence. Nobody will do it for you. I said, this is work in progress. This is work in progress. So ask the question, even if your voice will tremble, even if you speak bad English, ask. There are so many people in the world who don't even speak as good as you.
I think we're losing you somehow. The network seems to be a bit unstable. Okay. Yeah, but I think one of the things that I pick from what you're trying to share is the practice, and the aspect of face your fears, being able to you know that point in time where they say who can give those remarks or say thank you to the speaker or ask a question. You should be one of those that are ready to put up your hand. Coach Winnie, I think we're struggling with your network. I don't know if it's me alone. You can try to remove the, I think the camera was trying to bring some issues here and there. But I think I do agree with what Coach Winnie was trying to share. It's about practice. Even myself, I'll definitely tell you that I did not just learn to become a confident public speaker. This is something I've done over and over time. I've faced my fears. And with time, you gain confidence. Speaking is just like athletics. Once you do push-ups, the more you do them, the more the numbers that you can do. The same thing with running. The more kilometers you run, the more you keep on improving. So that's the same. Like your brain starts to get aligned with that kind of activity, and it starts to become something that comes out normal. So that is something that I've been able to really do. I think as we have Coach Winnie come through, I think there's a question says, how can I improve on my decision-making abilities and leading a team without being undermined? How can I see leadership results in my leadership capabilities? Okay, Coach Winnie will be able to respond to that as she comes through. But I want to just say thank you so much, everyone that has come through. Neville says, wow, what a presentation today. I've learned a lot. May the Lord continue using you and also Samuel for this rare opportunity. Have loved today's session and it's educative. And really, the young people of today need such minds. So we hold these sessions every Friday, and you can be able to find all our previous sessions. We are in the half of the year, but for all the weeks of this year, I think we've covered about 26 or 27. We've had a session at least every Friday, and we are really proud of that consistency. You know how you set your year's goals, and somehow you've been able to be consistent from the start to now. It is something that we really need to acknowledge. And of course, we also want to, again, acknowledge you as well, because we've seen quite a number of you join our sessions like Sanyu, and you've grown in the process because we started late last year, and we've seen a lot of growth within our members, which is something that is very, very good. And we continuously aspire to see that growth. The next half of the year is here. We've already started and we're going to do great things, I do believe. Winnie, I see you're back. There are some questions. I don't know if you can just unmute and try to respond.
I just have to put the camera off just to avoid it going off again.
That is okay. So I just want to share a question from one of us here who says, how can I improve on my decision-making ability and leading a team without being undermined? How can I see results in my leadership capability?
Okay, one of the things that you have to understand as a leader is that you have to motivate, influence, and work with people to to achieve your goals as a leader. To do that, you have to find ways in which your team works as one. Anytime there's manipulation within the team, you'll not be able to achieve. And if you give room for that, then you allow them to also manipulate and downplay you. Bringing everyone on board so that they know they're important. Create the safe space where everybody knows that they're important. Everybody is heard and seen. Heard and seen. That will help you, and nobody will try to undo the other while take advantage of that and sabotage you. Because mostly it's the insecurity that is in the team. If you can remove that insecurity that everybody feels there's something they're bringing to the table, then there'll be no fights. Because everybody's bringing something, but it will be different. And you need all these people to be there. I hope I've answered that.
Okay, thank you so much for answering. There's a question else from Kansime, who says, how can I build my confidence in leading a club of members where a majority of them are doing well financially and employed, yet I'm self-employed and have a lot of fear in me? Thank you. Yes, Winnie, you want to respond on that as well?
How can I build my confidence? Okay. Yeah.
Please proceed.
I think confidence is one thing that you have to keep working on every day, and nobody can do this for you. You need to identify what is this thing that drains away your confidence. Like, what is this that you fear that takes away that the confidence that makes you shrink? Because I don't think creating that, bringing in people together, because if I understand, you want to lead a club of members. These people are coming together because you have an idea. They don't have the idea. So what is this that is taking away that ability? Yet it is your idea. I always say that if you're a leader, you're a vision bearer. The vision lies with you, and nobody can outdo you in the vision because you're the only person who knows where that is going. This is a club you are building. You know where you want to take it. You just need a team of people to help you with realization of that club. So if you can't express, and I used an example where I said, I need to teach you in a way that you can be able to understand in your mother tongue. I want you to make that vision very simply for them to be able to understand and for them to be able to buy in, because you need influence is about people buying into your idea. Now you need to build that. And if you have not bought into your own idea, who will? Nobody. Nobody is going to come in. People buying in an idea because you believe in it. We believe in Coach Samuel. That's why we are following him. That's how influence is built. But if you yourself don't even believe in it, why should I believe you? I shouldn't. And if you can ask yourself, and that's why it's good to, because you are now facing a mindset issue, start going to the voice. When did that voice come? Sometimes these mindset issues are from our childhood. What were you told when you were a child? In my first book, which is Shatter Your Glass Ceiling, and by the when I wrote it, I thought I was addressing specifically like maybe women or something. I realized I was writing for everybody, because one gentleman said, and stop thinking that book is for women alone. It's for us men. We are still shattering our own glass ceiling. We have so many. It's just that we don't say them. We shy away from saying this. So those are the things. And the thing is, I had this thing from childhood. I was very smart, but I didn't know. I failed in primary school. My dad made me repeat. I wrote the book because of some of these lessons. My father made me repeat. He was like, how? How can you, my second born, be failing? I have not given birth to stupid people. Like, I don't believe. My brother is brilliant. And like, why are you the stupid one? And I think myself and my late sister follows me. It's like, we're the ones who are not doing well. So I'm like, why did I fail? By the way, why did I fail? I don't know why I failed, but when I reflect as an adult, I see there are gaps maybe that were there. I failed. My dad made me repeat. I was not happy. One only, I was not happy. But during that period, I wrote my first unpublished book. Why? Around me, I was in a mixed school. There were brilliant boys. They were just reading the boys and this other book, 7. They used to call what something 7. I've forgotten. They would read the book and write books. Read the book and write books. And then I'm like, what? You mean you can read a book and write your own novel? I said, okay, even me, I'm going to write. I wrote my first unpublished book. I always feel bad, but my father is not there anymore for me to tell him, give me that book where I wrote. I wrote the book, which means I was never stupid the way I thought. So my own self, I shattered my own glass ceiling, which I thought I wasn't smart. That year, I did so well that in my secondary, I was doing so well. That's why I was being picked to be the deputy Edgar. And I was refusing. I was not seeing. It was in plain sight. Like, these are your abilities. This is the kind of person. And I was refusing. I was still dealing with those mindset things, the voices inside me. But now I'm aware. Now I'm aware I should behave different. When it comes, I am like, hey, you remember you lied to me. Stop lying to me again. I know I am able. So you need to address what is this thing that is stopping you from moving forward because you have the idea. The fact that you have an idea, number one, says that you have a value to offer. So where is this voice that's saying, yeah, you are not able to do anything beyond that? Those are not two voices which are in alignment. And if you carefully listen to yourself or do what people say, have a meeting with yourself, you will realize that is not in alignment with who you are or who you're supposed to become. Because the whole idea of you coming up with a club means that there's a value that you need to offer. There are people who need that service. As we are speaking, you are actually making other people to suffer because you have not moved forward, because you yourself, you are doubting it. But the thing that is making you doubt has got no power the way you have power. We have only two fears: fear of falling and fear of loud voices. So please remove that and just push yourself forward. I would love to hear what would happen if you moved forward. Next.
Great. Yeah, so there's another question here. It says, how can I improve on the ability in sustaining conversations with important people? Because I fear conversing with important people and end up avoiding them and engaging in conversations with important people. Okay, Coach Winnie, you want to?
Conversations are great ways of networking and great ways of making friends. And also, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you?
Yes, we can hear you, Coach Winnie. Okay, Coach Winnie is coming through back. We can hear you very well, Coach Winnie. You can unmute and speak through. Okay, are you able to hear us, Coach Winnie? You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, Coach Winnie.
Yes, I can hear you, but I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Don't worry, I said Zoom always does these dramas on me. Okay. So what I was saying, like, conversations are very important because that's how we build and maintain relationships, and how to do conversations is a must. Like, we all need to learn, number one. And by the way, when I'm talking about these things, I struggled with them as well, because we were going for a VIP lunch meeting or breakfast meeting. I don't know, I'm asking, like, what should I be saying to these people? How do I go about discussing? Okay, number one, always remember that thinking about their own problems. They're not even bothered about, like, you are having a struggle with that. If you can have that in the forefront, then you're okay. You can always start with the simplest thing, like asking about those people about themselves. Conversations are sustained if I start asking you, like, what do you do? People love themselves. People, including you, including me. If you start asking me about me, I'll talk about myself nonstop. So you can ask questions about them. What are they doing? What are they up to? Where they come from? Things like those. Just conversation that make them talk. Because when you and I always, when we are doing training, when we are doing mentorship coaching, I always like to tell people, ensure that you know the names of people. People love their names. Ensure you ask them, is this the way you pronounce it? Teach me how to pronounce, because people love their names and they love to talk about themselves. You can't go wrong. So you can sustain a whole conversation and almost say nothing. And then be a good listener, because as a leader, one of the things I would love all of you to have is to be good listeners. Good listeners means listen more than you talk. So listening means when Coach Samuel is telling me something, I can ask a question. I know I say yes. Okay, then I can ask a question where I don't understand. Because that way I allow him to explain so that I understand. And we listen, not to like bash or to answer. We are listening to understand. Leadership is about listening to understand. So keep listening, and then you ask the next question. Oh, you said you're from South Africa. Which part of South Africa? I've not been in this place. I've been in this place. Which place would you recommend I go? They will talk nonstop. You won't even have an opportunity to talk. And you will learn so much. Right?
All right.
I hope that answers that question.
All right. Hopefully that has come through. So thank you so much. Most of the comments are coming through are just saying thank you so much for this session. I think somebody was asking earlier on if you'll be able to share the presentation. I don't know how that is possible, but this session has been streamed on our YouTube channel, so you can be able to catch the recording. But otherwise, myself and the team are so grateful for this evening, a lot of learning that we've taken out of this conversation. So Coach Winnie, please feel free to just give us your closing remarks since there's no any other question, and then we'll be able to get through done with the session. Thank you. Yes, Coach Winnie. Okay. I don't know if you're getting challenges with network again, but thanks everyone that has joined through the session. One of the things that I would say, if you're not part of the Transformation Professionals Club, feel free to join us. We have a running WhatsApp group and we have these weekly sessions. We also have quite a number of programs. We have an upcoming masterclass, which will happen on the 9th of August. So planned, it's a physical masterclass that will happen in Kampala. We'll be able to just share the communications, but just be on the lookout for those communications. We'll look forward to meeting physically and having these conversations and relating and connecting, which is something that we do as a club. We want to get to see ourselves beyond the Zoom conversations and see how we can build relationships, how we can be able to learn together and grow as well and earn at the end of the day. Great. I don't know if Winnie is here. Coach Winnie, could you just give us your closing remarks?
To everyone who participated today, thank you so much for giving yourself permission. That's step number 1 of accepting that you want to move to the next level. Nobody is holding you back except yourself. I'm going to ask you to challenge yourself to step out of that comfort zone so that you can allow yourself to see who you can become. I'm sure you'll not believe who you can become. The world is a stepping stage and you are holding back other people if you didn't know. And today, since you have realized that the opportunities has always been there, I want to invite you to reach out to me if you want to be able to move yourself to the next step. And thank you so much, Coach Samuel, for making this opportunity available to me. Thank you so much, Sarah, for getting challenged, and thank you for the referral. I believe that this is learning or something greater than
Great.
we
Thank you so
ever
much.
imagine. Thank you all and have a good evening.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach Winnie, for that. And thank you so much, Sanyu. Thank you so much, Mr. Baker Hamad, also running the Uganda Business Network. I believe that because of that network, this conversation has been made possible. Well done on the work that you're doing. On that other side, thank you, the team behind this conversation, the team at the Transformation Professionals Club, the coordination team led by Charity, who I think was earlier on this call, and our principal members as well, who have also financially funded some of these conversations for us to be able to have them. We don't take it for granted. In case you're not part of our WhatsApp group, make sure that you join it such that you're informed of upcoming webinars as they come through, and of course other programs that also come through. Like Coach Winnie indicated, in case you need to be able to reach out to her for more information in regards to her programs. She earlier shared her numbers, but just to reshare, her number is +254 723 +254 723 507 357. I just want to share that as well within our chat box, such that you can be able to send her a WhatsApp and see how you can pick up the conversation. We live in a global world that today we have Coach Winnie joining us from Kenya, and here we're in Uganda. We have people who are joining in from Zambia, people joining in from other parts of the world. Yeah, that's how the world has changed. And even you, as you also plan your career, be open-minded, because your leadership opportunity may not be in Uganda, it may be in the next country. And also just believe in yourself, because I know that people who are here and you've been in a lower role for a long period of time, I know how that feels. But it's a step-by-step process. Once you continuously build yourself, do the things that Winnie has shared, I know that before you know it, you're somewhere, you're growing. And the same thing has also happened for us. We did not just land at the top. It's been a journey of self-belief, facing our fears, especially public speaking, because if you're not speaking, no one knows your ideas. If you're not speaking, how will you even lead a team? So public speaking is one of those key skills. I know we've had quite a number of webinars on that. And we also plan to have more programs around that area, such that you build your confidence to speak. Let it be something else, but let it not be public speaking that should stop you from taking stage. So for me and the rest of the team, I want to say thank you so much for coming through for this webinar. And like you say, this webinar has been recorded. You can be able to access the recording. Invite somebody to be able to listen to the conversation, and also invite them within the group. If there's one takeaway that you've learned from today's session, feel free to share on LinkedIn, tag me and tag Winfred Kamuya, who is also on LinkedIn. Let's keep on having this conversation. I know there are people who also may be joining through this session, and maybe you don't have a job and you're wondering if promotion even speaks to you. But the best time for you to get prepared is not when the opportunity is next to you. The right time to prepare is when the opportunity is not there, such that when the opportunity comes, it actually finds you. So for me, I want to just say, believe that if others have made it, you too can make it. So thank you so much. I've been your host, Coach Samuel Ibanda, always here as part of the Transformation Professional Club to bring to you these conversations. You can be able to follow our conversations on LinkedIn, follow the Transformation Professionals Club LinkedIn page, and follow us on X as well. You can also follow me across all social media networks as Coach Samuel Ibanda on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on X. You can be able to get all the conversations. Otherwise, thank you so much, and I wish you a blessed evening. Bye-bye.